You ready to go build something? Let's go build something. Hello, fellow builders. Welcome back to the bench. Mediocre Modeler here. And yeah, you know what? I did a thing. I went to San Diego Comic-Con and I got to hang out with my buddy Augie, and he and I are going to have a show together. We're going to talk about it. But while we were there, as with all shows, I was looking for model kits and I found one. Blokees. And this isn't the first one. I built. The first one was Transformers. It was Bumblebee. It's a little bit small for my taste. I mean, it was still a good kit. And it was also a little bit juvenile. Juvenile in the sense of for a younger crowd. And this, look at that shine. This does the same thing. And we need that. We need to have model kits for the younger generation to get into the hobby, or else the hobby's going to die. And Bondi kits were really nice. And I think they were that, but a little bit more on the more advanced level. This one, they never got a chance to do a Bo Katan, as far as I know. And so the only way we were going to get this character was through Blokees. So let's get over to the bench and put this guy together. Excuse me. Let's put this Mandalorian together and see how it comes out. All right, here we are. Seems pretty simple so far. My hope at the end of the day is that the scale of this is very compatible with the scale of the Bondi. I've grabbed this trooper helmet from a Bondi to kind of measure the helmet, because usually the first thing you put together is the helmet, and the first thing to put together is the helmet. So let's grab a knife. Yeah, even though these pieces, much like the Bondi, are already in color, if you wanted to paint these, you could. That's not bad. If they're not in scale, they're pretty dang close. I like that part. So that part is complete. Okay, it takes a little to ensure that these are press fit, because I'm not using any glue. Nice to have a nice hard table. Sit it down. I use the little paint bottle to press them in to make sure that they're. Ooh, that's a good idea. A little press, a little. I have to come up with that. That's not a bad idea. I can already see the tolerances are so tight on these that if you get paint on there, that might mess with. You might. You'd have to do some serious masking in order to keep the paint out of the places you don't want it to go, to where you still make sure you're getting your joints, your movability, your see, look at that, rotation. Okay, I rotate this wrong. Why is that not okay? So that's good already. All right, you're going to be able to see the joints, and maybe depending on how you pose it, you can make that less obvious, but that's kind of what makes this a used kit. Usually when you can see the joints pretty good, that's just like, oh, you know. Assembly practice is basically what this is. We're just getting used to putting stuff together. Like I was saying, this is a youth kit, and assembly is fairly simple. It only took me about an hour to assemble it, so that's why I didn't do the well, I could say that, or it could be that somebody forgot to hit the record button. So both can be true. Both can be true. But in this case, with the final assembly, I think it came out pretty well. Very posable. She comes off the base. Hold up. All right. The base has a bunch of holes in the bottom, and I'm not sure quite what that's about, but I know with the Bondi kits, there's like an action pack, and there's like an arm that you can put on there, and you can pose your figure in different ways in like action poses where the feet are not based down on the base. So I'm assuming that's kind of what that's all about. When I tried to look to see, I couldn't find anything. I'll have to look again. But with this, you have the guns in her hands. You have just bald fist hands. You have a hand with the pointy finger, and like I said, the hands just pop off. You've got a set of hands where you can have the dark saber in left or right hand. This little accoutrement part of the arm, the van brace, that little piece comes off, and then you can put the little shield on there, and there's like a blade that you can put on that side. So you end up with all these extra pieces, and you can display this character in so many different ways. I was thinking about doing something. I know there was one where she was like flying backwards, right? And with her guns like fully extended. Something like that. And there's a little piece right there in the back of the jetpack to where maybe I might be able to drill that out or put something in there to hold it to where I can display it like that. I think that'd be really cool. You can either do left and right with the mythosaur, or you can do the owl. At one point in the episode, she asks the armorer if she can wear more than one, and so that's why I've got it, is she's got one on one and one on the other. And even the flames, those pop off. You don't even have to leave those on there all the time. So you have your choice of how you want to display it. My other thing was I was really hoping that they would be in scale with the Bondi. So I pulled out the my Dinjarin Bondi kit and put them out there. And like I said, they're pretty close in scale to where I can't imagine anyone complaining. I pulled up a couple of pictures to look and see what they look like on camera together, and they look pretty good. The scale it's close enough to go passable. So I'm gonna call this one. This would be a really good present for a young Star Wars fan, for a birthday present or a Christmas present, or if the seasoned modeler who just needs to get your build fix on. You just want to get something assembled just to get those good endorphins running about, hey, I put something together, it looks good, we're going to set it on the shelf. Okay, let's tackle this other thing. So, Blokees, good job. Good job. I was just saying how sometimes you just want to build something just for the sake of building, just to get those endorphins. And I had done that with the Mandalorian Boba Fett kit. I really, really like the updated Boba Fett. You know, he's a lot more barrel chested. And I did go in and repaint it. I mean, it's molded in color, but I repainted the armor, the chest armor, all the green and the jetpack and everything. And I really like the way this came out. Probably the last Bondi license kit that there was out there. And I just want to get some. It's not sour grapes. I'm just like, oh, they're not making any more. It just feels like that right now. And I was thinking about next year's the 50th anniversary. So of course, before a big anniversary, things are going to be kind of tamped down. So I'm really hoping that next year they pull out all the stops and there's just going to be no end of Star Wars goodness model wise for us next year. If not, there's always 3D printing. All right. Well, this was a real short one. So it's time for you to go out and build something on your own. I'm going to get working on this. I have an idea for the Mandalorian habitat. I want to get back on that because right now I've got Han and Luke sitting in there with the stormtrooper with some cargo and everything, and that was just a good landing spot for them at the moment. I really want to use these Bondi kits to make like little dioramas, little scenes for the Billy shelf. But that's going to take some creativity. Okay, I also kind of want to do a not necessarily animation, but like a little video. I've got like an audio clip in my head, and I mentally wrote this skit. You know, when you're driving down the road and you're thinking, oh, hey, this is some good music. Well, what if I wrote a skit that was for this music that wasn't what the original music was? And I wrote this whole quick scene in my head that I wanted to act out, and I was going to do it live action. Then I decided, no, you know, maybe I'll do it with the action figures. That way I could do the voiceover. And too many thoughts, too many things going on and firing at the same time. So we just gotta get him out of here and get him out of here. So we're gonna get on that. So until next time, have fun, be safe, go build something, and then put it out there for us to see. We'll see you next time.
Pew 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 pew.